Dear girl, praise God. First, I want to share just a poetic writing I wrote when I lost my mom. People kept saying, "How you doing?" And you know what does everybody expect you to say when they ask you how you doing?
Fine.
Okay, but sometimes you really aren't. You know, even though it's a confession, I kept saying, I'm trying to be all right. I just kept saying, I'm trying to be all right, because that's the best I can say. That's the best I can say today. So finally I said, well, I'm going to sit down and write this, and this is, I'm trying to be all right. Hi, my day. I'm searching for the right words to say. After great pain, sorrow, loss, and grief. My heart has a long story, but my answer is brief. I'm just trying to be all right. Desperately seeking help, I nod my head and pray. Sometime from others I must look away. Long nights pass as I search for sleep, trying to sort the pain from memories I must keep. I'm just trying to be all right, and I will. Yesterday's memories on today's shoulder. Life is moving fast, daily growing years older. In the midst of joy, inexplicable tears, walking uncharted ground, facing new fears. You see, I'm just trying to be all right. I don't know another way to say. I know I'll be better with each day. I'm just trying to sum this up. This is a better cup. I'll just say, I'm trying to be all right today. So that was just some of my sentiments at the loss of my mom, and I usually share that with other people because I know they're going through the same thing. And we want them to say, sometimes you say, if you said no, people say, oh, that's good, because they're not listening anyway. They know what they expect for you to say. But you know, I've been affiliated, a part of this family for 53 years. Of course, I was a little bitty girl. No, I was in junior high school. So, for 53 years, and it's been a pleasure and an honor. I related to Camille's comments. I never thought of her quite as being mean, but she was a no-nonsense lady. She meant what she said, and she shared the discipline. And she never whipped me, but I always believed her. And I didn't push it. If she said she was going to do it, I could just about expect it. Because she was, and all of that was love. With her family, with the people that she accepted in her family, she was very strong about family. She loved her children, and she loved her extended family. And the word tells us that when we love people, we discipline them, we correct them. And I also have to agree with Camille. She did a good job. She did a good job. Jeannie, Scooter, Linda, Willie, really, and Robbie, and Alice. Everybody turned out all right. Nobody was visiting wherever. We weren't trying to make the local visiting days for whatever institution we weren't. And at that time there was Betsy Ross, and there was another one for the guys. None of them went there. And that's because they had a strong mom. And it's funny we call her Big Mom, but she was a short lady. But when she spoke, it was Big Mama. Because everybody believed her. Her kids towered over her. But nobody questioned her. Because she was a very powerful lady, very good lady. When I think about her, she's already lived her legacy. We have down here Obituary. But she's already lived her obituary. And that obituary will continue to live in everybody that knew her, and each and every one of you. It continues to live. On this day, this is not the day when we can change things. It's already finished as far as that part. I'm just going to say, if you live right, you die right. And this lady lived right. I don't have to make up stuff about her. We knew her. And we loved her because of it. Introduced to a lot of things through her. She tried to make sure her family ate right, did all the right stuff. That was the house she went to and found unusual things, green pea salad and all that kind of stuff with pickles and whichever. But it was but it was wonderful being introduced to all those interesting dishes. She knew how to make that money stretch. She had 5 kids to raise. And I'm going to say that none of them went lacking anything. They dressed as well as anybody else's kids. They definitely ate good. And she was right there. And like I said, she wasn't running in and out of the schools they went to either, because they weren't staying in trouble. You know, and that's a legacy in itself. She left a powerful legacy. And then you passed it on to your children. So I'm going to say today is all about The best thing that you can do for anyone is to remember their legacy, to remember what they left behind. She left all of you behind something that's in your heart. And when you get ready to cut up, remember that she left something for you. I'm going to share a couple of scriptures. It's going to be brief for a reason, because I could go on. But she left you a whole arsenal of things behind. One of the scriptures that I'm going to read is, okay, this is Romans, the 8th chapter. Romans, the 8th chapter, the 31st verse says, "What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us?" Then I'm going to skip down to the 35th verse says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution, famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for your sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Yet in all of these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us." Sometimes we feel defeated, but we are still more than conquerors. I can say that Mrs. Idella Bouldin, we went to church. Everybody went to church. She saw to it that we were there. She taught principles and values. You didn't hear some of the things that you hear people call their kids. I never heard that from her. There was always respect and love for her children and for her family. She set a wonderful example. She was a pretty lady. And you know, some people said, "I still got it." Well, she never lost it. Some folks never had it. And I have to share this because I was thinking, I said, "Nah, yes I am." When she first went into some kind of boarding care, assisted living, she had 2 gentlemen that were chasing her. Now, those of us that are out here, able-bodied, able-minded, getting around, can't get a man, and she had 2, that were arguing over. So she still had it. They recognized, still a pretty lady. She told me, "I need some dresses, because someone don't like to see me in dresses." And that was just so beautiful, that in her state and presence of mind, she still wanted to look good. And she still looked good because there were folks chasing her. That's a legacy. This is a lady. And you recognize a lady at whatever state or at whatever time of life that they're in. So when you're out there, we're having these battles and struggles, remember, she wasn't a quitter. She didn't give up. It wasn't always easy for her. We know that now as we get older. But it wasn't always easy. But she still kept doing what she needed to do. She kept it moving, as they say these days. One foot in front of another, and she did more than an ample job. She did an excellent job. An excellent job of whatever she did as far as preparing for her children. Then she passed that same love on to her grandchildren. If you knew her, you had to love her and you had to respect her because she would not take disrespect. You had to love her. The other scripture I'd like to share is from Ephesians, the 6th chapter, 10th verse. "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of this age, against the spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand in that evil day. And when you've done all, do what? Stand. When you've done all, stand. It gets rough and it gets tough. Stand. Many people, they kept walking. It wasn't that they didn't run into the same challenges. She would want you to stand. Stand. When things get tough, don't run and hide. Stand. When you can't seem to make another day, stand. She wants you, that's her legacy she left for you. She showed you the strength. She showed you that you can make a way, that you can make something out of nothing. Because many times she did that. Stand. Keep standing. Instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what you do have. Instead of counting all the things, I don't have this and I don't have that, stop whining. Remember what you do have and be thankful. Be thankful. She left you an arsenal of weapons to stand. When you feel weak, stand strong. When you feel like you can't go on, keep moving. When you feel like you can't can't hold your head up. Pick your head up and walk on. Success is only getting up one more time than you fell down. So if you fall down, just keep getting up and not just stay there and wallow. Success again is getting up one more time than you fell down. There are going to always be people that will remember some bad things about you, and that's okay. But give them something to talk about. Show them where you're going. Show them what's going to happen with you. So while they're remembering the things that you did in the past, well, you used to be a this, you used to be a that, you used to live like this. Say, okay, you remember that? Now I'm going to give you something to talk about. Because I come from stock that says that I can go on, that I can achieve, that I can still make it, that I don't have to give in. Your opinion of me, someone else's opinion of you should not dictate to you who you are. Be determined that you're going to be better than that. You're going to be more than that. And you don't have to tell them, show them. Let them watch. Say, okay, you remember all those things, because I'm going to give you something to talk about. But make sure it's something good. Give them something good to talk about. Every time somebody's pushing your button, remember Big Mama. Disconnect the button. Somebody just pushing you all the wrong way, they're in control of you. Remember Big Mama. Just keep on going. Don't give them the power over you. Somebody can, if you live in unforgiveness and hatred, they have power over you. Because they dictate which way you're going to go, how you're going to feel, what you're going to do. If they make you hold your head down, that's because you gave them that ability. You pick your head up and you move on. You keep on going. You keep on moving on. You keep on, and remember every single day, the greatest thing you can do for her is to live life and live it at its best. If you're in some bad stuff today, come out of it. Give some honor to her memory. If you're thinking some bad thoughts, come out. If you're living a defeated life, change it. Never give up. 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 Just keep right on going. And like she left here in peace, she had done a job well done. It was time to go. When it's your time, people should be able to say the same thing about you. Don't have folks up trying to make up stuff about you, and folks will be wondering for the viewing because they want to know who's in there. Because they know all that good stuff came to you. Make sure that it's true. Live the life. When you start thinking of something illegal or immoral, remember that you have a legacy to uphold. There are certain places that Prince Harry and Prince Williams and these folks that we call those things, but we're royalty also, they wouldn't do it. Why? Because they know who they are. So when you feel, when you're pulled another way, and when somebody tries, you remember who you are. You remember that you came from the Bouldin clan. And because you came from her clan, you can't go that way. You can't go to whatever that party is. The Rock House is closed to you. No, I can't go there. I'm royalty. I can't live that way. I can't live in the gutter because I didn't grow up that way. I can't walk that way. I may have been there, but it was just a side journey. I'm out of that. I'm coming out of that. Make up your mind today, whatever it is that you're going to live your life at the best, as a legacy to Big Mama, to Grandma, to Mama, to Auntie, to Mama. Lastly, since she did have her children go to church and believed in the Lord, if you're sitting here today and you've never asked the Lord to come into your life, then this is your day. This is your day. This is the best thing that you can do for her. If you've walked away and it's time to come back and you want to rededicate your life and make a change, this is your day. This is your opportunity. No better day than today, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to need some help. You're going to need some help. And you can't call on some of the people that you think you can call on. You're going to need some divine help. So if that's you today, and you recognize that you need some help, and you want to ask the Lord to come into your life, I want to ask that you raise your hand.